So number one biggest mistake that people make when they come and live in Medellin.
Yeah. People come to Poblado, come to Medellin, they stay in Poblado,
right,
and they just stay in Poblado for like 2 weeks, and they're like, wow, this is Medellin, and they go home. They don't experience anything else, and therefore they never get a real understanding of real Medellin, right? Because Poblado is not a great representation of the whole encompassing city.
Poblado is like a bubble, basically. And if you stay in El Poblado, you're not going to understand Medellin or even Colombia as a whole. So definitely want to venture. I mean, I think Poblado, like you've said it before, El Poblado is a good way to wean yourself into Colombia if it's your first time in Colombia. Apart from living in Manila and El Poblado here, my second favorite place to live in the 7 different neighborhoods that I've lived in here over the 13 years that I've been here is downtown. I lived in Las Torres de Bombona, and it's like a little city within a city there. It's so awesome. A lot of you guys know my story. When I first got here, I was broke. I had just been deported, so I couldn't live in El Poblado. I couldn't afford living in El Poblado, so I lived in Floresta, I lived in Calasanz, I lived in downtown, I lived in Laureles, learning the different neighborhoods and also how to get around in the city using the buses, not just going taxi and Uber all the time, was really fun for me. It was like,
that's a real experience.
It's like a real
on
adventure.
The ground.
Roman says, I lived everywhere. Poblado is the only place I can sleep. Too much noise all the time. Yeah, that could be true. Like some of the little neighborhoods, especially if you're near a big
I live
highway.
next to the main street in Laureles.
Then
the noise 24/7 all the time. Just get used to it after all. But that being said, you move like 3 streets back, dead quiet. CBL Daddy's got a good question. Is true crime goes up near Christmas?
Crime does go up near Christmas. Robbers need to get gifts for their children too. And people have more money too. If you're a salaried employee, you're entitled to 2 bonuses a year, one in August and one in December. So people have more money. So obviously robbers know if you're coming home from work, you might have gotten that a bonus in cash.
Rafael's calling me daddy. Is that a Colombian thing or what?
Papi.
I'm worried now.
Watching from India. Holy cow, what's up?
Damn.
India.
Everybody, we got the whole world in here. Australia, India, Colombia. We gone worldwide, Andrew. Hey, Houston, Texas, John Fan. El Gringo from San Francisco. Oi, Francisco from Puerto Rico. JB London from the UK originally. Greece. Holy shit, Finland.
Finland.
Oaxaca, Mexico.
Oaxaca, ¿cómo está?
Man, number 2 in the biggest mistakes that foreigners make when they come here, not making local friends.
I've met a lot of people here that their only friends are other expats. And I've also met a lot of people that are here for maybe a year or 2 years and then they leave because they say they just weren't able to find a community. They weren't ever able to make like real connections with friends and they just didn't feel at home. Number 1, they didn't venture out. And number 2, they didn't learn Spanish. In order to make local friends, you have to learn some Spanish and at least try. Roman says that my favorite hobby is fase dos. All right, Roman.
Yeah, here we go. T-Mac says that he's never had a hard time making Colombian friends. They're very appreciative when you invite their family members over to socialize. You know how many people I see on these expat forums, they've lived here for like 5 years and they're like, I hate Colombians. What the fuck are you doing here?
Backlink says he's been here a week in Colombia and already has a ton of friends.
Yeah, dude, not hard.
Didn't even have to try,
If you fix this problem and actually have Colombian friends, your level of enjoyment in the city is going to go from like maybe 4 to like 10, 11, 12, right?
Yeah. T-Mac says expat forums are very toxic.
Oh, they're the worst.
It's weird, man. I don't know why Medellin in particular, because I'm part of the expat groups in all the other countries that I've stayed in. There's groups on Facebook and they're never as toxic as the Medellin. Even the ones in Cali and Barranquilla that I'm a part of in Bogota, the expats there aren't as toxic, but for some reason Medellin attracts very toxic people.
Even on YouTube, like every day I got to block like 5 people because everyone's just so negative.
Yeah, I'm toxic. No, I'm just kidding. I try not to be toxic, but
number 3.
Yeah, number 3.
Number 3 mistake is living in the wrong areas. And this one is a little bit different to what we talk about never venturing out of Poblado. This one could be as simple as not doing your research well and then maybe booking a place and living in, let's say, Sabaneta, and then feeling isolated, right?
I met someone that did this. He got an Airbnb in Robledo. And I'm like, what? Robledo's so far.
They have Airbnbs over there?
Yeah, they have Airbnbs, but it's like super cheap. He got like a whole house for like $300 a month.
Yeah.
He said it was cool in the sense that he really got immersion of like Colombian culture, living in an estrato 3, which is lower income neighborhood. So he got that immersion, but when he wanted to do something at night and stuff, there's not a lot of going on.
Probably not going to be able to connect with them that much,
there's
right?
no bars, there's no restaurants, or there's very little. You have to travel a long way to get to something. So he made that mistake. So he was there for a month and then changed to Laureles, where he said it was way better for him.
We got another comment from the ABX girl.
The ABX girl was good. I hope the Passport Bros movement doesn't ruin Americans wanting to live in Colombia. I have a retirement visa relative there, and she loves the family atmosphere and feels safer than in the US. I don't think we have to worry about the Passport Bro movement. It's a very small group that aren't really going to make a huge difference. I think that if someone is coming to a different country, whether it's Colombia or anywhere in the world, and are actually looking for something positive, not just, sex, not just to exploit, but to actually become part of the community and become part of the culture, etc., that's great.
We got Sean here saying that every video I see seems to only have 20 and 30-year-olds. We're the middle-aged old people. We got Andrew right here.
I'm a middle-aged old person. I'm 42 years old.
How much older than...
I'm a boomer.
Victor is from Berlin, and he loves both of us. Thank you, Victor.
The number 4 mistake people make when coming and living in Colombia is sending money to a Colombian bank account to pay for your expenses. So for example, let's say you don't have a Colombian bank account, but you need to pay stuff, and you have a Colombian friend or a Colombian girlfriend or a family member or someone that does have a Colombian account, and you start sending them the money so that they can make the payments for you.
I do this all the time.
Yeah, so
that's a mistake?
That's a huge mistake. Because if you keep sending money, if you send them money, they're gonna have to, and they report taxes. That's income.
Oh, that's not my problem though.
That's not your problem. Particularly talking about larger amounts. For example, if you're sending $10,000 to someone's bank account, guess what? They're gonna have to report that as income, and that's a huge mistake.
Yeah. Yes, that is a good thing, and I realize that's a mistake now because my girlfriend, as of last month, has cut me off from sending any more likes.
Wait, I've never heard of that happening.
She said,
a girl cutting you off because you sent her too
because
much
she's
money.
going over the tax bracket. T-Max says, I would like to know where I can buy a good ribeye steak in Medellin, or beef in general. Not a restaurant, but a market.
You're talking to 2 vegans.
Yeah.
But when I did eat meat, you could go to like any of the big markets, like El Mayorista or La Minorista, and they have a huge meat market section in both of them. Even Placita de las Flores in Barrio Boston in El Centro.
Let's see what else we got here. You should talk about how mental health improves greatly for people coming here. More vitamin D because of sun, also walking more, less cortisol because of less stress.
I give out a lot of vitamin D.
So we just got people thanking us for being clean channel, and you're fucking it up.
Okay, sorry. Well, I gotta keep it family friendly. Yeah, a lot of people talking about mental health improves in Colombia. I do agree with that. And I made a video where I talk about work-life balance improving when you come to Colombia. If work-life balance improves because your costs diminish. When I first got here, I had been freshly deported from the United States, and I got to Colombia. I had to work Colombian jobs. I worked at a call center, and my work-life balance and mental health I felt was better than that of the United States for a couple reasons that you mentioned. You're out in the sun a lot because you're taking public transportation every day. So you're out and moving. That's number 1. Number 2 is Colombian culture is way more social. It was normal after a work day to go grab a beer or go to the gym with someone that you work with, or go play pool at the local pool. I mean, it's so much more social than in the United States, where after work, you just go home and veg out. I definitely agree. Mental health does get better here, and your fitness gets better here too, because you eat healthier, you're moving more, and that also plays a major role in your mental health.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5. What is number 5?
Number 5, I was going to say, is on the topic of visas.
Yeah, visas.
And we were talking about visas. Is that people either doing visas with dodgy visa lawyers, or trying to do it themselves and getting rejected.
What happens when you get rejected? Like, can you not apply again, or what?
You can apply again, but the problem is, right? For example, let's say I have 2 months left in the country on my tourist stamp,
Right.
And I apply for the visa, and then they take 2 months or 2.5 months to answer, and they say you're rejected. Now I'm illegal because I've stayed longer. So now I have to pay a fine when I exit, right? We have a lot of questions piling up here, which we're going to get to, but we have an announcement today, right?
Yeah, we got an announcement today, guys.
Do you want to take it away?
So, guys, as a lot of you know, we've been working on what is called the Medellin Masterclass. You can check it out, MedellinMasterclass.com. We've had 5 students the first month we worked one-on-one with, and from those 5 students, we created the online course, which is now launched on MedellinMasterclass.com. So if you're looking to move to Colombia, but you want to save money on renting, you want to learn about the healthcare system, you want to learn the process of buying a property, we cover all of that. You can check it out on the MedellinMasterclass.com. So a lot of people ask me, well, why do I want to pay to learn how to move to Medellin? Well, number one, this is for people that are definitely moving here long term. It's not someone
for visitors or tourists, 2 weeks. No.
And it's also for people that are serious, that are either going to be working out here, starting a business, buying property, doing stuff, maybe setting up a nonprofit organization, early retirees. And another huge takeaway is that from that masterclass, all those entrepreneurs and all those early retirees, we've formed a group on WhatsApp. So if you get accepted, because we're not taking everyone, we're going to do regular meetups so that we can all talk and integrate.
Yeah,
so if you guys are interested, or if you have questions about it, feel free to email or write us in the comments of our videos, etc. Ulysses, thank you so much for the dono on AK's channel.
Yeah.
What does he say? Medellin culture is toxic. They lie a lot and are untrustworthy. Doesn't matter if it's
Strato 1 or 5. They're all cheaters and fake.
Dang, someone hurt you bad.
Oof.
To that notion, I haven't experienced that. I come from a Colombian family and there is toxicity, but I think it's like in any family, you'll find some toxicity. But as far as culture here and all my friends that are paisas, I've never experienced that.
We have a really good question here actually from Scoobaroo20. Knowing what you know now, let's say you guys started back at day 1 of arriving in Colombia. However, you now have 250K USD. How or what would you invest in?
250K? I mean, literally, you have 250K. Why not put it into like a ETF?
If you want to go hard.
Go big or go home, I would probably buy property here. $250,000, you could probably buy 2. Or one really nice one and gut it and remodel it. We got another donation on your channel.
Scoobaroo20.
Hey, thank you for the $19.99 dono.
Thanks, buddy. He said, thanks for the advice. I've been looking at buying a property in Medellin and Manizales. I also like Armenia. Could you guys ever talk about these other cities?
Yeah, I've been to all of those. The number 1 pro is that it's cheaper than Medellin for sure. Number 2, if you don't like to be around a lot of like expats and tourists, you're not going to see that there. Another pro is that the people are just like, they're paisas. So they're all very friendly, very similar to the culture. If you like the slow-paced life, it's a lot slower paced. So that could be a pro and a con at the same time. If you like faster-paced life and things going on, then you might not like that. But if you like the laid-back life, then definitely those smaller cities are great.
What about crime?
Yeah, less crime. Obviously, smaller, less crime. The big cons, again, there's less things to do. I literally can do everything there is to do in Pereira, which is the biggest of the 3 there, in a weekend. Like, oh, that's a good question from someone on your channels. Stefan
Joachim. Stefan Joachim.
Stefan or Stephanie?
Stefan. He's
asks,
European.
He asks, what's the best way to find a cook or a PA, a personal assistant, or a maid? Great question. So the best way to find a maid, first of all, there are a few agencies where you can pay that. You can definitely find a maid and any of these things on Facebook groups. Like there are expat groups that people will recommend them. But remember, when hiring someone here, especially a domestic employee, they have certain rights. For example, if someone's working as an independent contractor, they have to pay into Social Security and they have to pay health insurance into an EPS, and they have to be able to prove that. And in order for you to pay them, they should be proving that to you. This doesn't have to be a signed contract either. If someone's working at your home, they can't just be an independent contractor for an expended period of time, that is. So people get in trouble here, and this is Colombians too. There are laws to protect domestic employees, because what would happen is that people would pay them cash under the table. They're making income that they're not reporting, and you're not reporting that expense because it's just a cash transaction. And then after 5 years of working with them, they would be fired because we don't need you anymore. Kids are grown up. I'm moving. We divorced. Whatever the case is, they're leaving. And then that domestic employee, that cleaning lady, that cook that came to your house every Friday or every Monday and Friday is out of a job. She is under the table, so she's not privy to severance. She never paid into the Social Security system, so when she retires, her Social Security is going to be less. So if you hire someone and you're not paying them correctly, you could be sued. So yeah, go through an agency. So Luisa is a personal assistant.
And producer now as of today.
Producer. You want to say hi to everybody?
Producer as of today. By the way, we have a lot of people listening now. Are you? Can we keep going or we?
Yeah, I have a call at 1. No, I have to end. I have a consultation, guys. In the description of my videos, if you ever want to consult with me, just click and book the consultation. Well, thank you guys so much for joining.
Thanks for joining in.
Our live. I will see you guys on Friday on the Medellin Buzz on YouTube every Friday at 11 a.m. I'll be doing a live.
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys there. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah, hit the like. Send it to more people.
Thank you to all the donations today, guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
New video this Sunday. Watch it. See you guys.